Okay, welcome to the Alfa Romeo Owners Club stand at the Lancaster Insurance edition of the NEC Classic Motor Show. Alfa Romeo Owners Club is 60 years old this year. I'm John Griffiths, I'm the club chairman, and it's a delight to pull this display of cars together again this year for everybody to enjoy. And the club being 60 years old, naturally, we found a fantastic car from 1964 too, and that's this phenomenal Giulia Sprint Speciale belonging to Dave Ward. It's a 1600cc car with a twin cam engine. Absolutely wonderful thing, and even more amazingly, it was bought about 10 years ago as a complete wreck with no floor, holes in the roof, rotted to pieces. Dave has worked tirelessly to restore it to quite phenomenal condition now, and as we can see today, it's utterly gleaming. So a fitting way of introducing the show, I think, and this car of course is exactly of the kind that the owners had when they formed the club back in 1964 at the Steering Wheel Club in London, as people got together to literally club together to understand these cars and provide support and understanding of them, and that's where the club's kept its name as Owners Club. So a fabulous thing. Okay, shall we carry on round to the other end? So we'll go right down to the other end now and come round in date order. So an Alfa Romeo display stand wouldn't be the same if it didn't have a 105 series, and this Bertone Coupe is another absolute work of art. You could actually describe this one as a resto mod, and it's been breathed upon by those geniuses at Alphastix. It's owned by Roger Kay, who's raced Alfa Romeos with the Owners Club for many years, and he's had this one built to an impeccable standard to enjoy for fast road use and for track days and for hill climbs and potential sprints. It's just an absolutely amazing thing. He actually found a 1977 shell, but has had it converted so it looks like one of the original GTAs from the mid-1960s. So it's had the step front nose added. It's got a 2.1 litre version of the engine, so it's been bored out. Bigger carburetors on it. In fact, it's tuned up to over 240 horsepower now, so it's kind of badged as almost a 290R now, because that's related to its power to weight ratio. But as we look around it, you can see it's got a bespoke interior with leather bucket seats, billet aluminium components inside, and of course a roll cage. It's lowered, it's got some amazing features like its close ratio gearbox, limited slip differential, and even hollow drive shafts. So it's all about weight saving for amazing performance. I've had the joy of going around Coupe circuit in this in the passenger seat with Roger, and it's one of those cars that can be absolutely steered from the rear, as they say, on the throttle. Just an amazing experience. So it's representative of an incredibly popular car in members' hands, and one of the ultimate versions of it. And of course, if we walk round then, next up is Gary Orchard's phenomenal Alfa Romeo Alphasud TIX from 1981. This car is almost showroom condition. Its first owner kept it for many years, and it was undercover, did very, very few miles. And Gary's just now in his hands. He's just maintained it phenomenally for a good many years too. But it's spotless inside. I had one of these back in the day, in the mid-80s. Mine was black, and as a lad I absolutely adored driving it. This is 1981 model, so it's got the 95 horsepower version of the Boxer engine, 1490cc, and it's a slightly later model, so it's got the hatchback, because originally the two doors just literally had two doors and a boot, and kind of UK market special. It had a colour-coded grille, added fog lights, a sunroof, which was essential back in the early 80s, But again, he absolutely loves driving it. It just comes out for shows nowadays and the odd nice Sunday blast, but we delight in seeing this at various Alfa Romeo Owners Club shows, so it's fabulous to have it on the display stand today. Moving along, we've actually got the successor to the 105 series coupe. The Alfetta series of coupes were launched 40 years ago in 1974. The first car was an 1800cc version, but this one's the ultimate expression of it. It's a 1983 GTV6. Originally these had the amazing V6 2.5 litre engine from Giuseppe Busso, and this one though has been also kind of resto modded, so it's had a 3 litre engine transplant from an Alfa 75 along with its gearbox. And one of the special things about the Alfetta, of course, was it had a transaxle arrangement with a clutch and gearbox at the back. So you've got 50-50 weight distribution. This one's one of the later cars, so it's got Recaro seats with the fishnet headrests. It's a two-tone body scheme, colour scheme that the last one's had, and it's fitted with the optional Ronal alloys of the period. But belongs to Hamish Corner. He's keeping it beautifully, and it's a real fitting celebration of 40 years of the Alfetta. Coming through the decades, we're up to the 1990s now, and this is Neil Henderson's 2 litre twin spark Spider from the 916 series. He's a professional detailer, and a friend had his 147 GTA in for a polish, and Neil rather fell in love with that car, and then he fancied some wind in the hair motoring, and the same guy happened to have this car for sale. He bought it, and over the last 3 or 4 years he's jewelled the thing, being a pro detailer, as you can imagine. He's had some kind of period available Zender alloy wheels fitted to it in 18-inch that really lift the car, make it look quite modern, frankly. But it's an absolute jewel. These are incredibly popular, the 916 series cars in the club. We've got a very active 916 register for Spiders and the GTV coupe variant. But this one, as he says, it's his little tribute to Alfa Romeos of old in racing red, and he's got the P2 number plate, and he says Nuvolari, Farina and Ascari NFA on the number plate, which is even better. But a cracking car, a lovely example. Coming more up to date, we've got a car again that's was Alfa Romeo's biggest seller, the 156 series cars. This one's the Ultimate Edition back from 2002. It's the GTA with the 3.2 version of the Busso V6 engine, 250 horsepower. These are a delight to drive, front wheel drive of course. Many of these had upgraded suspension and limited slip differentials fitted, but this one's in its perfectly standard form, and all the better for it, I think, as a kind of collector's car going forward, but very much a modern classic. This belongs to Dave Atkins, who's a serial Alfa Romeo owner. He's got a 155 Q4 that was on our display last year. He has a modern Giulia Quadrifoglio, but he absolutely loves his 156. And it's one of the cars he says, I don't think I'm ever going to sell this one, and understandably. We'll go around to the other side of the display now. And next to the 1964 car, we've got a 2010 supercar. It's the Alfa Romeo 8C Spider, 4.7 litre V8. Again, from the late noughties. This car was on sale through till 2010. So these came out initially as in 2003. There was a coupe version built as a kind of prototype come show car. It had such rapturous reception that it became a road-going machine, and 500 examples of the coupe were built, and there were a planned additional run from 2008 of the Spider. However, with the downturn in world markets, only around 370 were sold. I don't know if I've got the number with me, but it was just an amazing machine anyway, designed originally in 2005, but this car was understandably wonderfully loved by members of the club, and it was tremendous to see 2 or 3 in the UK quite early on. Today we believe there's around 48 Cs of all types in the UK. We're very lucky that several of them are in members' hands. This one belonging to Alan Greenhalgh. He also has, people will know his Juliet GT-AM that we had on the display last year, but Alan just fell in love with this car when it became available for sale, and in the metallic white and black trim, it just looks absolutely stunning. So that's a little walk around cars through the years. Let's have a look at the latest from Alfa Romeo. And here we have it, the new Alfa Romeo Junr. This is one of the first models of its kind in the hands of a club member, and the Speciale is Alfa Romeo's first full electric vehicle, battery electric vehicle. We've got this one plugged into the mains, so during the show we'll be able to open the door and show people inside it without flattening the 12-volt battery. But this one, the Speciale, is the first one on sale with the 54 kilowatt battery, capable of doing around 250 miles on a single charge, and this one in particular is fitted with the optional sport pack, so it's got the highly attractive Seatbelt seats inside it, and it's in this wonderful Brera red colour. The cars come now with the Speciale badging on the side, so it's the first one of its kind, and we're expecting the 280 horsepower version. This one has 156 horsepower. The 280 horsepower is expected early next year, but you can order them from now. So these are available. Go down to your local dealer, have a test drive. It's got absolute alphaness when you're behind the steering wheel. Shall we open it up? Maybe have a quick look inside. So you can see those Seatbelt seats, the Alcantara trim, the Alcantara steering wheel. The Canonicile effect for the steering, behind the steering wheel.
Oh, you have to keep nagging me to do it, he says.
And plenty of room. So we promised, as well as the Veloce, it was recently announced at the Paris Motor Show that the UK will be getting the hybrid version, which should be available this summer. So there we go, right up to date, celebrating the 60 years of the club, right to the very, very latest. Something showgoers will notice is that all of the members' cars on our display this year are sporting a rather natty little Alfa Romeo Owners Club tax disc. So this is all linked to the club members' Guardian scheme, because as an owner of an Alfa Romeo, you're really its keeper for future generations, you're its guardian. So this actually is all linked to our website. So as a member, you have access to a page where you can register your car and you can create what's called a Guardian page. It's effectively a micro site. So you can upload information about the car, anything you like really, where you bought it, maybe what you've done on it as regards upgrades or restoration, and then you can upload photographs and really create a little mini blog all about the car. Then that automatically generates a QR code that you can print off on the tax disc that's also automatically generated, print it off, attach it to your windscreen, then add a show, or even as your car's parked in a car park somewhere, somebody can get their phone out, zoom in on the QR code and be taken directly to your car's Guardian page and learn all about it. So thank you for that. If you're available, come on down to the NEC, come and see the guys on the stand. It'll be terrific to see you.